Hello. Today's topic is the structure of the Earth. The Earth is divided up into several regions, primarily based on the density and the composition of each of those areas. If we dive down to the bottom or the middle or center of the Earth, we will find the inner core. The inner core is made of solid iron. Even though it is at 6,000 degrees C, instead of being molten, it is solid because of the tremendous pressure that compresses or pushes on that core. Next layer above that is the outer core. The outer core is also comprised of iron with also nickel. It is somewhat less hot than the inner core, 4,000 to 5,000 degrees C, and therefore it is a liquid because of the lack of or the lessening of pressure on the outer core than you have on the inner core. The mantle comprises the majority of the Earth. The mantle is what we would call a semi-solid. It is plastic, meaning it can be deformed or it can flow and move about, though very slowly. It's primarily composed of iron and magnesium, also very hot at 28 to 3,200 degrees C. The asthenosphere is the upper part of the mantle, and it flows somewhat more like a liquid. The crustal plates that we'll be discussing later float on this semi-liquid asthenosphere, much like icebergs floating on the ocean. And then last, the topmost layer, we have the crust. The crust is solid. It's composed primarily of oxygen and silicon, or silicates in other words. It is the thinnest layer of all of the Earth structures, comparable to the skin of an apple, to the rest of the apple, or to an eggshell as opposed to the rest of the egg. The lithosphere is all of the solid part of the uppermost mantle as well as the crust. And these two together float about, as I mentioned before, on the asthenosphere, very much like large ice sheets or icebergs floating on the currents of the ocean. So, if you were to take the outer core, the inner core, the mantle, and the crust, and were to divide them up according to their densities, how would they stack up? Well, as we can see, the Earth's crust is the lightest or least dense material at 3.0 grams per cubic centimeter, followed by the mantle at 5.7 grams per cubic centimeter, then the outer core, and then finally the inner core being the most dense material at 13.0 grams per cubic centimeter. So again, thank you for your time in studying the layers of the Earth and their composition. I hope that you learned something from this material and will join us again sometime later.